All right, welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. So today I want to talk about the words that you have to look out for within schools because these words are, like my dad said to me, feel good words. They make you feel something on the surface, and it's like, there's gold sprinkled on top of dog poop, and it looks nice on the surface, but then you just kind of move the gold over and it's trash underneath it. So let's go through these 7 words. Number 1, not a specific word, but anything relating to race whatsoever, whether it's black, white, any of that stuff, because whenever race is mentioned in school, nowadays it seems to be either putting one race above another or putting one race below another. And it's just not right. We can't judge people on the color of everybody's skin. And the people who push this stuff, push this whole race thing, this race competition, for no reason, are the exact type of people that you do not want to associate yourself with because they have terrible contents of character. Number 2, equity. If you look up the definition of equity, I'll have it up on screen right here. It is so vague, and that's why they use this word, because they can twist it around to fit their narrative. Before, I remember a couple years ago, they used to use equality. And that's a decently defined word. It sounds good. You look up the definition right here again, and it sounds good. Equity is not a good word. Equality is. And the reason why they use equity is because it is so easily manipulated. The word is so poorly defined, so vaguely defined, that people can use it for their own narrative. In fact, today Kamala Harris made a video on the differences between equity and equality, and I pretty much agreed with everything all the way up until the end, where she basically says, she calls it competition, and then she says, but everybody ends up in the same place. And that doesn't make any sense. She was promoting equity, and she was saying everybody ends up in the same space. That's communism, and that is gross. I don't like communism. Everybody that likes communism, all the kids that like it, have been poorly educated by the education system into thinking that communism is good. We're all communists, guys. Communism lifts the poor up. No, guess what, kids? There was a 1% in communism as well. Let's just look at Russia. Who was the 1%? Oh, there was a 1%. Guess who it was? The government. It was Stalin. And everybody below Stalin was so poor, you have no idea. So, Kamala Harris, you're a complete liar. You have no idea what you're doing. And it's so disgusting. Number 3, inclusion. That's a bit of a sneaky word they use. But inclusion means the exact opposite of that. It means segregation. Let's segregate everybody. To be inclusive is to segregate people. My sister's school has a social justice class, and they had what were called affinity groups. Affinity groups segregated students on the basis of race. They segregated students on the basis of race and then called it inclusion. Is that inclusive? No. And I don't think anybody should be segregated, especially little kids, on the basis of their race. That's disgusting as well. So whoever came up with that affinity group stuff and put that within the curriculum is a disgusting person. Number 4, diversity. Once again, this is another word that means the exact opposite. They love to do that. They love to, like I said, sprinkle dog poop with gold on the top so it looks all nice and pretty. Then you move the gold over and then dog poop. Diversity basically means that whenever you see this within schools, you have to realize that it means the opposite of this. Or if it doesn't even mean the opposite, here's what it does mean. It means that diversity on the basis of race is good, but anything other than that is bad. Diversity on the basis of skill, experience, on thoughts, on anything not related to race is the exact thing they don't want it to be related to. They want diversity to be related to race. Number 5, I have seen this before, trigger/trigger warnings. They love their trigger warnings, and for some reason, these same teachers that might be teaching about the Holocaust or might be teaching about history in general, because history is bloody. History has always been bloody, and if you are not preparing kids for history to be bloody, then you are just preparing them to go back in a little cocoon and stay little triggered babies their whole lives, and you're not going to help them whatsoever. And to the teachers that actually talk about not offending people, Do you guys even teach about World War II or history, the Nazis? Even before that, history has been bloody since the beginning. And if you are not prepared for that, if the same exact person that is teaching about that is not prepared for it, you should not be in that position. You should be removed immediately, and you should not have a job, because anyone who thinks that's okay to promote all this trigger warning, oh, are you okay? You know, checking on you every freaking second and having a little safety box over there. You do not want them teaching your kids. They're weird people that have never grown up. They are still kids, and they are little bratty kids that you should not associate yourself with. Number 6, safety. Once again, the founding fathers said that never trade liberty for safety, otherwise you won't get either. And that's the thing, we hear this word a lot. Safety, safety first. You know, I get that when you're going on vacation, you want to go on a zip line. Everybody says safety first. That's because they don't want to get sued if you fall off. I understand that. But when that pops up in school, safety, 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 you know, everything relies on safety. The lockdowns for safety, you know, wear a mask for safety. Why? Why do they say that? Well, because those people that promote safety want to take away your liberties. And when you have teachers that should be preparing you for life, saying safety is the #1 priority, then those are terrible teachers. Because we cannot have teachers in a country that has been built on the idea of liberty, on the idea of the individual. We can't have teachers going the complete opposite direction and then covering themselves with this idea of safety so they don't get spotted, I guess, you know. It's like a camouflage, really, that's what it is. Number 7, basically like safety, is caution. We always need to be cautious. We need to be safe, we need to be cautious. It's same thing as safety. We cannot always build our kids into these little super cautious, super safe individuals that can't do anything. They're not even individuals at that point. They are part of this hive mind of deranged people. Not deranged naturally. They would have been fine without the education system. But the education system is turning all these kids into these mindless zombies that just walk around. Oh, white privilege, white male guilt. You know, you're a evil white male. I have to treat all minorities differently because they are always oppressed. Everyone's oppressed. I'm the oppressor. Or I am oppressed and you are the oppressor. No, we cannot do that. And we cannot turn these kids into these not good people, really. That's what the education system is turning these kids into. It's not good at all. But I also want to know, because I know there's a lot of other words. This was just all I could think of at the moment. Let me know down in the comments below all the other words that you have seen within your school, so we can just build a massive list of all this, a massive list to keep track of all the different words to look out for within schools, because there is a massive list of things we need to watch out for in schools because of the amount of ridiculousness we see, because there's so much going wrong within our education system. And it's been going downhill since the 60s. In the 1960s, public schools banned ethics. They banned ethics from public schools. Why would they do that? I don't know, but it's really been going downhill since then. And if it's, gotten this bad just this year, we need to fix it. And I think one of the best ways to fix it is to either make sure your child knows proper principles, proper ethics, a proper way of life, and has a shield that can protect them from this sort of stuff. Or take your kids out of school and teach them those same exact things. And you can teach them yourselves as well. That is difficult for a lot of parents, and I completely understand that. So if you can't do that, I 100% understand. But for the parents that can, I would highly recommend it. Of course, the only thing you need to do when you homeschool is socialize your kids. You don't want them ending up as weirdos. By doing that, it's a little bit more difficult now with the whole pandemic thing. But the best way that I've found to do it is, well, for example, I like to ride dirt bikes. So me and my dad found a instructor that could, first of all, teach me how to do it. And then we found some events that we could go to with that instructor, and we could hang out with more people that like to ride dirt bikes. So just events like that where you can meet more people. So that's the best way I would recommend to socialize your kids if you need to, and if you are doing homeschooling. Once again, let's make this list a lot bigger, because I know for a fact there are some words I'm missing. I just could not remember them. So thank you guys so much for watching. Don't forget to like, subscribe, turn notifications on, and share. Go check out these 2 videos you see right now up on screen. Thank you guys so much for watching.